Welcome back to the new professional StarCraft 2. New maps, new balance patch, same players you know and love. I am proud to introduce the blue Terran in this best of 3 Terran versus Zerg, the People's Terran. It's Cure, the perpetually underestimated GSL champion, whose top-tier build orders win out over his flashy micro. Now, on the other side, some might debate whether or not he has build orders at all. It's the final boss. It's Dark. We've been seeing a lot of him lately, and I don't think this will be the last time at all, but a matchup I've been looking forward to casting. I actually noticed it a few days ago, but I mean, there's been so many good games lately. There is no downtime for top-tier StarCraft players. We're on Grezvin of the new ESL map pool. Likely going to be used for I Am Katowice and beyond. You should be seeing it on the ladder for those 2 or 3 of you who actually participate very soon. TM. Oh, here. Beautiful grenade hits everything. You know what it doesn't hit, though? Is Jimmy. Despite the fact it should. I want to see the health bars. I want to know what's going on. How many times do we have to go over this? I apologize. Technical difficulties, as always. But I don't know why they decided to go with blue and mineral blue here for the colors. Thankfully, it's not a mirror matchup. Otherwise, I would be extra upset. And the map does seem to have some nice contrast here, but there are these blue spots. You know what? Not a huge fan of what that does on the minimap. It makes me think they're lakes, but we don't have boats. All right, when are we getting boats in StarCraft? I guess overlords are kind of like boats, but like airboats. Okay. You know what? Can we just edit that out? Okay, moving it back. Banshee, Hellions. Let's go over some of the patch changes, especially as they pertain to Cure. Well, the Ghost got nerfed somewhat. Snipe can now be canceled. Well, steady targeting is the technical term. Snipe was the original Wings of Liberty version with kind of the rapid fire, quick but lower damage. But steady targeting can now be canceled, but it also is canceled if your target runs too far away, which means no more shooting all those Zerg units in the back. It could technically be canceled before, but like the only things that could get away were like speedlings and banelings on creep. So overall, not really a huge cross section of the late game Zerg. The range now is 14 on the kind of hidden iterated patch changes. We're gonna have to do a video on the additional changes on top of the original set, as they have been evolving over time here on this balance test. Well, Banshee's on the way. Dark opts for some roaches. He's been loving the Ravagers, despite the fact Ravagers now take a few seconds longer to build. Creep takes a few seconds longer before you can spread it. Hydras are a little bit faster, though Dark is not a big Hydra fan at all. Ultras are faster as well. I take that back. Ultras are smaller. They're not fast. They just look faster. It has a slimming effect. But Ultras are the same speed. It's just their actual physical size is smaller, so that allows them to get up in your business a little bit more often. And if I could be so bold as to impose on your business one time before we really get into it, like and subscribe. That'd be amazing. A lot of people have been checking out both the new patch videos and the cast in general. I really appreciate it. I hope you appreciate the commentary. Thank you for being here. And now, the fun begins. Cloak Banshees. So far, Cure, batting 1,000. Perfect game. Has not lost a singular unit. I mean, it's not like he's racking up the kill count right now, but a handful of drones, a little bit of everything. Trying to keep control of the creep. That's a lot of Hellions for someone who's going bio here, but another bio-curious build, if you would. Well, how many Hellions? He's got 8 Hellions here. Dark did opt for the roaches early, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You could go any direction with this. He might think it's a Zerg versus Protoss. You never know with Dark. As Ravager-ling Bane has been his favorite strategy lately. The little indicators there. That's somewhat subtle, but quite clear where you're supposed to place that base. A beautiful little forest. It must be autumn on whatever random planet we're on here. Though I probably wouldn't go swimming. While the new maps, they look beautiful, I will say they don't really come up with any... I think it's Neo-Humanity was the map that probably has the most dramatic geographical features. Otherwise, you got your very standard, larger macro maps. Well, here comes a tank push out of Cure, who's still lost not a single unit. No, once again, I have to say, he hasn't killed that many either. And no combat shield. It looks like first, still, okay, one of these units has to die eventually. Dark is just speed running up to Hive right now. There's a bunch of roaches here. Good splits against the tanks. Transfuse to keep it together. And Cure, well, he's standing his ground. And Infestor makes a cameo appearance. He loses a medevac full of units seconds before his triple threat kicks in. Seconds before he finishes +1, +1. He's already got stim, but combat shield as well. I do question the timing of the attack, as Cure had all that kicking in. If it was all there. Now, obviously, you don't want to let your opponent build up an army that can crush yours. And Dark, given another 20 seconds, may have had just that. But Cure ends up losing a significant chunk of his early game units. Though, it does appear the rush distance here on Grezfin is so long that even if Cure loses that whole army, he should have another one by the time Dark can come across the map, especially the roaches. Not known for their particular speed. They do have an upgrade for it, but that just brings them to even think about doing some offense. Yeah, there's a reason why almost every Zerg unit has a speed upgrade. It's because otherwise they wouldn't be able to hit anything, essentially. And speaking of speed upgrades, remember Hydra's, it was just nerfed in the newest iteration of the balance patch, but they still get an even greater benefit from that muscular augments upgrade. Of course, Dark understanding what Hydras are best used for right now. He's not getting any Hydra upgrades. Hydras are, of course, lurker eggs. As Dark, at 9 minutes, is speed running lurkers. He doesn't even go lurker range, he's going adaptive talons. This might be a reaction to Cure in general, who's not known for his particularly quick reaction times. Adaptive talons allows you to scurry those lurkers along, burrow them a bit quicker. Oh, a lot quicker. It's a lot quicker. But they don't have that extended range the seismic spines offer. Banshee's still covering here. Banshee's the most successful part of Cure's build so far. Okay, like on the mini-map, I think these are lakes. They look like lakes. Tell me they don't look. Oh, come on. All right. And, you know, it doesn't really help that both the players are blue as well. But Banshee's trying to deal with this, but alley-oop and... Oh, Dark almost knocks him down with Corrosive Bile. Not quite good enough, though. The Roach Ravager is chasing. Once again, Cure caught out with just seconds on the clock on those 2-2 upgrades. We got a Ghost Academy on the way. Planetary Fortress. Hive Tech is already online for Dark. He's finishing up his 2-2 ranged attack, which is quite extensive here. Dark has taken full advantage of the space between the players on the map here. Throws out some fungals. Second one finds the mark. Corrosive Bow forces the split. Still some Banshees to the north side. The tanks taking advantage. Wow, 6 siege tanks with this, with +1 mech weapons right now. And they're going to be able to siege up the hatchery from the low ground. But on the high ground, we do have something to point out here. Viper Abduct now stuns the Viper while it's abducting for a little over half a second. So, it makes it a little easier for them to get sniped off, EMP'd, what have you. Gives some counterplay to the Viper. Just something to point out here. It may have very well resulted. You can no longer yank them with you. But instead, you're kind of tied down, anchored, while you want to pull those units in. So despite all the damage here, despite the exchanges back and forth, here comes some ghosts. One last thing to point out, EMP was nerf buffed. There is no longer the enhanced shockwaves upgrade, which increased the radius to 2 from 1.5. But instead, EMP base radius is increased to 1.75, which means easier to land EMPs early on, but in the late game, it's going to take more to guarantee you hit those key units in the army. So I think overall, in many scenarios in the ultra late game, it is a nerf, alongside that snipe nerf, which is just straight up nerf. But it also is a buff to just the early game, like getting those first ghosts out. This is more relevant to Terran versus Protoss than against Zerg. Against Zerg, it's more of an endgame unit. Against Protoss, it's more of a timing attack. And right now, this is quite a slog, I have to say. They're both going back and forth. I've kind of avoided the play-by-play commentary in favor of adding some color, as they just don't seem to be able to do critical damage to each other's armor. Dark with his Roach, Hydra, and Fester composition straight out of 2012. Whereas Cure is mixing in the Ghost. He's got a nice tank position. And that Viper helped out a little. But come on over. Stay a while. And listen. Adrenal gland's about to complete. A lot of damage on the other side. The reality of a map of this magnitude is between Terran and Zerg, you're not able to lay down a killing blow after winning a fight quickly. You just cannot translate that victory into a winning position. I mean, it was easily. Fun fact, or not so fun, I guess it depends on who you ask. Lurkers, even with adaptive talents, cannot unburrow and run away from snipe. Like, the snipes will go off, even if the moment they latch, the lurker tries to run. But the lurker, if it is unburrowed, can escape. So, key difference. A Nidus in the main. Dark loves these late-game Nidus networks. You know what? I'm going to revise that statement. Dark loves these Nidus networks. We'll just cut out the late-game part. They're very dark, not really unit. Tactic. There you go. It appears Cure has decided we're going to sit back, we're going to settle in. He's got 3-3 on the way. A handful of lurkers. The Roach Hydra Ravager. Getting collapsed upon by the Bio army here. The Ghosts on the back line. Not that many. How many medevacs? Only 4 medevacs left. Lurkers to the south as well. More snipes coming through. Get interrupted by damage. A handful go off, plus 3 infantry weapons finished up. More snipes, but at the same time, the lurkers are slicing through Cure's defenses. Oh, Dark is so aggressive with these lurkers. He gets up there and he shreds the tanks as Cure pulls back with probably a little too much army supply. At least so much. How many ghosts does he have? Cure, historically? Oh, wait, he lost the orbital. Oh, come on, Cure. Yeah, well, a bit of an unforced error there, but a lot going on. Cure struggling to keep up with it. Cure's someone who barely ever built more than 10 ghosts before this patch. But now, apparently, he's building 17. Kind of notorious for underbuilding ghosts in the late game. They just weren't a unit he was super comfortable with using, is my interpretation, but feels like Cure is really trying to push the limits of what the ghosts can accomplish. And still doing quite well with them, despite the fact he hasn't... Let's bring some medevacs back. Probably think about a couple medevacs or something. Snipes knock out a lurker. Dark sending out like campaign defense lurkers where you just continually send 1 or 2 units in either side, poking and prodding. So they're both maxed. We got 3-3. Cure's had 64 SCVs, which means his army supply is huge right now. But at the same time, Dark is comfortably established on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases. And it looks like 8 is the number on your quote-unquote half of the map. I'm not sure how we're going to slice it up exactly, but 8 bases seems to be the key number here. Great game thus far between these two. The Lurker got a kind of quality of life buff, I guess is oh. It is a buff to the Lurker. The random delay on burrowing was reduced. For those who don't know, I'm going to try to do a quick explanation mid-game, which is a very bold move. Most units in StarCraft 2 have a random attack delay. This is why they don't look like, I don't know, Bowman in AoE 4 with no random attack delay. That's why the Marines, when they fire all at the same target, they kind of fire at slightly different times. It's really a cinematic difference. It's very tiny. It's like it's between a fraction of a percent and 1 to 2%. So most units have that random delay to make it look like they're not all part of a hive mind. And this doesn't. Oh, what? Never mind. Lurkers all over everything. The hive mind is striking forward, and oh, that did not work. That was way too bold from Dark. He walked right into a concave of tanks, bio, and ghosts, and that was not going to happen. Either way, the random attack delay also applies to some animations, like burrowing Lurkers or morphing them from Hydra, stuff like that. Not just limited to Zerg, but in general. So, in reducing or removing that, a key point was the battle cruiser had it removed, which actually increased its DPS by like double-digit %, because it was one of the biggest offenders in how much random delay there could be on attacks. But technical explanation over. Lurkers are everywhere. Dark is... I mean, he's using them kind of like Widow Mines, so they're very expensive to use like Widow Mines, but it's Dark, so I assume he knows what he's doing, despite losing over twice as much gas and 6,000 more minutes. He's lost 39 Lurkers! I've been wondering, like, is this efficient? Is this actually worth it? So I think what Dark is banking on is the one time Cure makes a huge mistake. The first, the second, the third, the seventh Lurker run-bys, they're not doing it. But that 8th or 9th or 15th one, where Cure finally looks the wrong way with enough units or loses the wrong base, that is what Dark is banking on. His stamina is unequaled. He will outlast you. One way or another. That is what he relies on to win games much of the time. That or some sort of blitzkrieg strike you completely got blindsided by. I think Dark is the most dangerous Zerg player, which is kind of an intangible. But compared to like Serral or Reynor, you can't really have any expectations versus Dark, besides a lack thereof. What is in there? Is that 4 ghosts? It's 4 marauders in a meta. That's just a misclick. Alright. The People's Terran. The map is... oh my. We're all over the place. This is a war. I am loving it. I am going to push back a little on the idea that huge maps favor Zerg, as especially since the late-game Zerg army really wants to be consolidated. We're talking Lurkers, Vipers, Infestors. Whereas the Terran army is much easier to split into bite-sized pieces that can be effective. Medevacs, siege tanks, even groups of ghosts. I think that past a certain point, Terran definitely has great options for playing the late game, because Zerg can't bring everything to bear without leaving a huge part of the map wide open. They just don't really have the force multipliers, but Dark is a force multiplier in and of himself. He collapses the armies together as Cure overstayed his welcome and gets out maneuvered. What? He has 18 ghosts. He just had them. We've all done that. All right, the People's Terran shows us how it's done. He's not Byun, okay? Byun who adds ghosts in like they're just the icing on the bio cake. Over here for Cure, they're another dish entirely he forgot in the kitchen. Having 18 ghosts with your army does seem like kind of an important part. And also, look at the supply. I've been criticizing Cure, but this is Cure in a nutshell. You think you win a battle, but you're definitely losing the war. He's got 140 to 80 army supply. In almost all the fights he's taken have been without the majority of his ghosts. Lurkers. Looking for an opportunity. I mean, they've already killed this base twice or thrice. An Infestor just wanders in. Dark is kind of scrambling. He doesn't have the gas to really put anything. He escaped Nidus. And he's out of there. For now. But Dark is out of gas and Cure is maxed out with money in the bank. Nidus gets blasted. The tanks have +3 mech weapons. I'm loving the tank edition. That's the 10th Nidus worm? Oh my. Dark is all over the place with these Nidus networks. Well, 167 supply. This is the hard part, though, for Cure. He's got to nail it down. He's got to decide what his objective is and move to accomplish it. And there's a large distance between his and Cure's base. So, I don't think he realizes what an advantageous position he's in right now. He has been insanely cost-effective. He's lost 12,000 less minerals and over double the Vespene gas. He's going to send a triple drop to the main, trying to drag this army back. In fact, 4 Spores Crawlers here. And Dark, wow, these Zerglings feel like they just kind of unburrowed. A few Marines get ripped to shreds that can't get back into the... I'm sorry, does he have... No, that's a Nidus. Okay. I thought he had a hatchery there for a moment. Not quite that cheeky. Well, Dark finds another opportunity. Cure dragged his army to the south. Dark hits north. It does feel like Dark is scrambling for whatever damage he can find. Cure still has a massive bank. Oh, even cloaks his ghost to make sure that he cloaked every single ghost to snipe one lurker. What did your mom tell you about turning your cloaking device on and off? All right, we're not made of minerals here, okay? Like, conserve your energy. How many ghosts is it now? 19 ghosts. And counting. Dark, well, Cure is definitely not pressing his advantage as much as he could. I don't think he realizes exactly how, Oh, another point. Liberators have gotten a slight cost reduction. At least last I checked. 150, 125 as opposed to 150, 150. I believe this is supposed to be a bit of a bone thrown to Terrans who, well, they'd rather have the entire skeleton, but in order to compensate for the reduced strength of ghosts. We'll see how it shakes out. Dark has managed to remax out. And this is the hard part here. Is actually laying down the kill. What does that look like? Dark refuses... I think this is a trend we're seeing with many of the best players, no matter what race they play, is refusing to present a target. Like, Dark has yet to pick a fight that could end in him losing the game immediately. He's never sent more than like 2/3 of his army supply into the fray, which means he's been losing battles, but he has yet to lose the war. What a game, though. 25 minutes in. And, I mean, Cure's on the doorstep of victory, but he might not have the key code right now. He's calling his friend. He's like, wait a second, am I supposed to enter it here? Or do I need like a password? Or no, it's like just a move, bro. The production tab, we're so late game, the production tab is empty. High-sec auto-tracking, building armor, both cloak flavors, 333 for both sides. Just missing some mech armor upgrades here for Cure. Oh. Once again, Dark brings it. How many over? He's making sure he has detection. Oh, it's gonna get weird. Okay, well, Marauders in the main. What did they just kill? Yeah, Evolution Chamber. I was wondering if it was the spawning pool. I don't think so. The orbital will burn! And Dark is amputating the northern side of the map from Cure here, who's been trying to muster a defense, but he's taking his sweet time about it. The Hydra's even chasing down. Oh, another point is the Hydra damage point. Not their damage, but their damage point. How quickly they attack after into their animation. So essentially makes them easier to stutter step. Was reduced slightly. So they're more stutter steppable, is the way to put that. Just like Marines who have a very low damage point. They very quickly attack and can move again before another attack. Thank you for demonstrating, Cure. Alright. Cure continues to be not maxed out. He's actually... I don't know if he can't decide what he's at 16 SCVs. What happened? Yeah, he's rebuilding. I'm like, he's rebuilding SCVs. That doesn't seem 16. No, that is definitely a rebuild SCV situation. Though at the same time, he has enough of a bank. He's not building any units, which is not ideal. The ghost count is quite high. I like Dark pre-splitting his infestors there. Cure is retreating with Ghost. How is Dark the one attacking? The lurkers. Did he just try to fungal his own changelings out of reflex? A bunch of changelings came out. Another orbital die. A whole bunch of snipes here. The Nidus exists. He just kind of threw it out there. It actually slows the defense down. Another base. Cure, you can lift your buildings. I know it's considered dishonorable, but oh my god. He drops a mule to save it. No. Cure is he still has money in the bank, but he doesn't have supply anymore. I am 90% sure you misclicked Microbial Shroud. He's been doing that. Though, it does help against Liberators. Once somehow Dark knocks out 2 free bases, and in the time it takes Cure to defend, claims them for his own. This is Dark in a nutshell. He has a Nidus up here. Don't bother with dealing with the Nidus. Just throw a hatchery down. It's not like he's rich either. He doesn't really have the money for that. But he does it anyways, because he's Dark. Cure maintains a bank. He's now at 21 ghosts. I don't know. Like, it feels like Cure is paralyzed. Dark is essentially out of money at most of his bases. He's now taking what should, in many senses, be Cure's. Dark is maxed out. He just refuses to lose. That's what it feels like here. Oh my god. The Nidus, he's playing it like Brood War Zerg, where just Nidus to every corner, and why not? It is it's a high risk, high reward style. I'd say medium risk. It's not high risk. It's not that high risk. Oh my god, Cure, what have you done? He put all his Marines in a medevac basket, and he's just losing the. Oh my god. Oh my god. It is a utter, unmitigated, and just total disaster. Dark has lost 11,000 more minerals, 7,000 more gas. He's lost 70 lurkers to just 8 ghosts. Oh my god, it was another fight where Cure just didn't have his ghosts with him. Oh my god. But This doesn't... I truly don't feel this is a review. Not a review. I'm looking for the word. I don't feel like this is showcasing the patch changes so much as the difference between Cure and Dark. In this sense. This is kind of rough to watch. I think Cure had every opportunity to press through. I was winding up to compliment Cure on his victory. But Dark has, like, swept the leg. He's thrown pocket sand into his eyes. He's burrowed a lurker behind him. Cure turns around. He turns back around, and Dark just backhands him across the face with some fungal growth. I like how he's getting Burrow and Neural Parasite. I think, like, the endgame move is just turn his ghosts against him. Because if Cure's not going to use him, Dark will. Got the Infestors landing, the ghosts dying in droves. They might be able to line up some snipes here on the Festers, but... Dark looking to end the game at 69 drones. Just, what a nice game. Cure could not... He really did kind of get bogged down. Dark manipulated the map, and he used it well. I love the Niduses. I love the use of Nidus here. He did such a great job with it. Yeah, there's... you're not coming back from this one. That's... The lurkers will slice through. GG, Cure. He took a little while to really admit defeat there, but defeat very much it was. Well, we'll see. If he can recover, we go to Babylon. The ancient stomping ground of the Terran, so... Alright, let's just put that one out of our minds, Terrans. Actually, Terrans are like, no, I've already written the abstract for my thesis about that one. I can't put that. Maybe we can put it on the map a little bit. But that one's on Cure. You cannot take 4 or 5 fights in a row, lose them, and then be like, well, if I had used my 21 ghosts, it wouldn't have mattered. No, you don't get to put 21 ghosts and just pretend they don't. No. All right. What? Oh my god. Not important. This is what's it. Is that a bongo movie? Is he proxy raxing by the bongo movie? Is this some sort of aqueduct system? Oh my god. I love the detail. Looks like there's some more over there. We can't quite see him at the moment. And anyways, he's proxy, of course. And, is this even closer to Dark Space? Like, it might be Reaper, which would make a little more sense here. I don't think so. Yeah, he's not gonna have nearly enough gas. Okay. It's pretty far away for it's more like a hidden barracks. There are sets of rocks at the third-ish area here that do limit the normal attack path. But Overlord floating in. Gonna see no command center. How will Dark handle this? It hits so late that there's already Zerglings on the way. I don't know about this one. Maybe that'll help? God, that's such a long time to get here. There's already Zerglings popping out. I'm gonna... I'm putting a big, solid question mark on this one from Cure. Good Marine micro so far. He guns down. He's gonna get the bunker. Covered in creep, but it's done, and that's what matters. Queen pops out. There's a spine on the way. If you position the spine just right, it can outrange the Marines in the bunker. Well, let's see if Dark has that under control. I believe he does. He's looking to defend. He wants to defend this. He's already pulled drones down. All right, Dark, show me. Teach us. Now, the spine adding a lot, targeting the SCVs. Some Marines gonna go down. Pulls the drones back, only loses 2. Queen's in front, gonna wanna move that spine as soon as possible. He has the opportunity now. Is there an overlord trying to... Cure finds it. Bit of a consolation here. Is that a rock tower? It's been a while since we've seen any of those. We're dropping down those rocks. Oh no, there's a Hellion. Could have used that like 4 seconds ago. The Hellion's a bit late. The Hellion's just gonna run. His Dark is on the chase. How does he do this? Dark is so good. I want like Dark versus Byun. Well, we have Dark versus Byun. Don't worry, I'm sure that'll be tomorrow or the next day's cast. But you know, as we boil it down here, I want to thank you guys again for watching. A lot of new people in the last just the last few weeks been watching. Hopefully, even when the new patch becomes a little less new and through the year, I don't plan on slowing down either on this or the second channel when it comes to content. And hopefully you're content with it. So I hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe. Just checking out the games and watching all the games of the series really helps out a lot. That's the big one. And you're already here on game 2 of up to 3, so that's better than some. It's not a competition. 2 more command centers. Viking comes out. Four Ovies on the way. Yeah, Cure just he completely swerves all the way to the other end of the economic spectrum, from the proxy Rex into the 3cc. Dark with a comfortable defense. Just building that many Zerglings did slow down his larva. Building Zerglings, believe it or not, you can write this down, but building Zerglings means he wasn't building drones. But with the extra larva, with queens already out, he was able to get enough to bounce back. And now you can look at the work count, 44 to 29, and it's about to get worse or better depending on who you're rooting for. I feel like you don't root for Dark. Like he's like he's not a villain, but like he's like the Joker. All right, you're not supposed to root for him. But you can be highly amused, at the very least. In this case, I'm gonna go... Cure is Batman, alright? In this case, I'm good with that. Cure is the Batman Terran. Hell Batman Terran. Banshee. No cloak. There's a spore cut. Oh my god, so many moopies on these maps. Celebrating. There's some marine parts of it. And they've hoarded some doubloons. There's a lot of maps with doubloons and moopie. We're putting together like we can create some sort of canon, some sort of lore for each map pool. Since we are seeming to get like full new map pools, as opposed to just a handful of maps each time. Still waiting for those team maps. But we could start building up the storyline. Yes, this was... The Moopies are who rose up after the ancient battles between the Zerg and the Protoss over who was the Xel'Nagar's favorite child, or whatever they argue about. And all just these tiny remnants of civilization left over, and that's what they grew upon. Well, here we go. We got 2 medevacs, a Viking on the ground, some Hellions. Dark's at 61 drones, but he does not have a Baneling nest. And that means this attack is well, not particularly what? No, you can't. That's not enough lings, right? What? Okay, apparently it is. Cure, intimidated. Dark's just building 3 okay. Alright. Typical Dark. He's building a hatchery at his 4th and 2 more in the main. Can never have too many. That's actually quite true. As long as you can afford it. It's kind of like adding extra production for Terran. Larva, in this way, you're not punished nearly as much for pulling your queens off the line as needed. Or losing any. As it's more of a brood war. So far, Dark is really channeling, from my amateur limited understanding of brood war, just mass hatchery, using Nidus to get around between outlying bases, heavy lurker play, and a lot of late game spellcasters to amplify your strength against Terran. I'm just saying, it feels like brood war to me. Baneling speed on the way. Cure chasing out some Zerglings from his 3rd. Why was there a drone here, Dark? Was he doing... I don't think he was doing the hatch creep trick. Oh, the Chew Toy Depot working out for once. A depot to rally your units to. I've always liked that idea. Let's see if Cure is actually rallying to it. He's not. He's rallying to the natural. But this is one to serve as an alarm bell. And if you rally your units to a depot and the depot dies, the rally is reset to the buildings. Which means in like a hectic base trade, which is not unlikely in this matchup, instead of units rallying out to their death because of a huge counterattack while you're microing, they can be reset to your production, which gives you that extra line of defense. Honestly, mostly those depots are for he A-moves some Zerglings on a counterattack, and I get a little bit of extra warning. Which is not nothing, especially in this scenario. Some tanks on the high ground. There's quite a ledge here. Backing off. And the Zerglings and Banelings will snap them up. Cure, with still a comfortable... His armory quite delayed. He is missing out on those upgrades. Whoa, Dark! I'm not used to seeing this, but Dark has nearly a full 2-2 upgrade advantage. A couple minutes on it. And that's going to make Cure's life significantly more difficult. Not opting for the quick hive, but instead the mass and mass effective Ling Bane. With an upgrade advantage, you can easily just use Zerglings in these numbers to shut down Marines. And then, of course, Banelings become that much more potent. While the creep might not spread as easily, still, Dark has been able to push it out quite far despite Cure's efforts. 2-2 already done. Hive on the way. Cure adding on, Dark adding on a few more Overlords, and that'll send him towards him. Oh, beautiful target fire from Cure. Do I sound surprised? I am a bit. He nails it down, but the problem is those Zerglings are still just too effective, and they're able to trade just fine with the Marines. Well, Cure holding his own, but this game definitely a lot less work done in the mid game. He really invested in that proxy. I'm still no. What do you? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, what must those Marines have thought in the last few seconds of their life? Like, why did I sign up for this guy's army? Did he just hold position as medevacs over a spore crawler? And okay. Ultralisks. The Dietlisks. Potentially on the way. I think Cure... Well, Dark could kind of pick anything here. This could be Ling Bane Viper. He could have switched into Lurkers. He's got map control. It is Dark's game we're playing right now. Cure is going to have to make some real progress before this Hive tech kicks in. Otherwise... Well, oh my god, look at that mini-map. So many Zerglings. He's got 175 Zerglings! That is, I'm not a mathematician, but that's a whole lot of Zerglings. Wow. Ah. Good luck with that, Cure. He hasn't actually built a Whittle Mine in this series that I've noticed. He's adding on some Liberators. That's so many Zerglings. He's going to have a 3-3 upgrade advantage over a Terran. He's setting up Bane Mines. I don't know. I zoned out. Like, watching the Banshee strongly discourage a handful of Lings and Banes. Just kind of... my brain just turned off for a second. I'm like, well, this doesn't matter. Let's think of other things. Double medevac drop heading south. Chitinous plating on the way. Oh my god. I know what Dark's gonna do. Oh god, this is one of those games when Dark is just styling. That's the difference. Last game, Dark was on the ropes. And he slithered away. He slipped out. Cure could never land a knockout blow. And eventually Dark ground his way back and found some very good fights to slide back into it. But he's gonna send everything, and then he's just gonna build every single ultra he can. Oh my god. It's gonna look close right up until 15 ultras make their way across the map. He's getting ultra speed. He doesn't have that much gas right now. The income's only slightly in favor of Dark. 3-3 completed. Oh, blue flame on the way. Oh, but here comes Dark. Blinding clouds, Banelings crashing through, but most of the tanks unable to find the target. The planetary obliterated, the FCVs evaporated, and now the Marines themselves will be able to stand their ground, yes, but 82 more. Oh, on the other side, 32 SCVs down, plus 2 mag weapons. Doesn't matter if your tanks can't see anything. 100 Zerglings in the production tab. I love you, Dark. 3-3 finishes for the Marines. Endless Zerglings, though, and a baby Lisk. The Smultralisk. It has speed. It has, well, it's been on a diet. It has chitinous plating. So, key point is the smaller model does come with a smaller area of effect attack. So they don't hit quite as much area when they do attack, but since they're smaller, well, apparently when you make Banelings like that, they can't get through the Plinko board of Baneling. Oh wow, the Ghost Academy just started. I think only because he saw that Ultra. Looks like Hellbat Man gonna try some +3 Hellbats. How many? He's just not, he's not sending all his Vipers. Dark is so good at segmenting. Look at this 2-pronged attack. This isn't it. This isn't the whole attack. Parasitic Bomb, but at the same time, a planetary just ripped to shreds. Banelings on the other side. And Cure holds the line. But very tenuously. Oh, that was not... He held, but at what cost? Cure's down to 37. SCVs. He's on 150 supply, which means his army supply is about equal. Microing back here. The Liberator's going to help out. Banelings connecting. The Ultras are so small. From this zoomed out angle, it's quite clear. Much more. So much like make StarCraft 2 Broodborn again. Oh my Goliath. Few ghosts on the way. 20 ghosts didn't help Cure very much in the previous game, so... Bunch of Lings chasing these Ultras. Wow, how many Vipers is that? God damn. Full spread. Parasitic Bomb. And he's just gonna do it again. A single snipe. Blinding Cloud doesn't stop that, but it does stop the tanks. Drags the tank over the top. Dark just surgically hacksawing through this defense. Amputates the base. Now the Liberators will survive. Dark is willing to spend. He's lost 6,000 more minerals and 500 more gas, but that's nothing. 13 SC. Oh, Widowmine! I don't know if it was a misclick or intentional, but 30 more Zerg. How many wings has he lost? 600. And he'll do it again. This feels like this is the difference between Dark on the edge of defeat and Dark in control of the game the whole time. Here we go again. The Ghosts try to hold the line, but there's not nearly enough to separate the wheat from the chaff. And right now the Ultras drawing the attention as the Banelings crash through. Yep, well, he wins that fight, but guess what? The command center itself burning. Another attack on the right. Well, that's a few Zerglings get through. That's not nothing. Close to it. It's not like Cure has that many SCVs to spare right now. Even burrows the Lings. He's everywhere. How many now? We're up to 664. Another round. Full energy Vipers, full spread of parasitic bomb, making his way into the base, rips apart the tanks. Bio nowhere to be seen. SCV's vulnerable. 7 more SCVs down. Dark maintains 200 supply. And that's it. He taps out. Cure has had enough. Dark knocks him out. That's, well, I think what we've confirmed with this match is Dark is still an incredible Zerg player and Cure still has some blind spots, and not just because the Vipers get involved. I very much enjoyed that series. I hope you did as well. And I hope you enjoy this one. Right there, Jimmy put that one up for you. Hopefully, don't insult him, all right? He's already not getting paid for reasons. But thank you for watching. I hope I made your day a little bit better. Good luck, have fun. See you next time. Stay tuned.